Welcome back to All Shops Great and Small. I'm just tinkering on this mini bike, which is exactly like one that I had when I was 9 years old. And as I am working on it here, I'm thinking I can't really make it look nice. But if I was a rich guy and I had a brand new Honda three-wheeler or mini bike 50 years ago, and now I want it looking just like it did the day that it was under the tree. We're here with Mike from Vintage Motorsports, and he's going to tell us just briefly about where some of his equipment has gone.
It's gone pretty much all over the world now. Starting, the biggest one was the Honda Collection Hall. 2004, a friend of mine's friend drove the tractor trailer for the Honda race team. And through the grapevine, they heard they were looking for a Honda US 90. And kind of got back to me. I'm like, I'd love to do something like that with them. They actually flew a guy out that runs the Honda Collection Hall, flew out to my house, did a full interview, we talked about it, and they signed me on to building one.
And that was 2004?
2004, yeah, that took about, like everything dropped. Once all my other customers, like when Honda comes, that's the guy. So, yeah, it took like 6 to 8 months. We finished that one, and within a week after getting it, they're like, we want an ATC 70. We want a Yamaha Trizinger and a Suzuki ALT 50 to show the comparison between different models. And it just took off. So I ended up doing 14 bikes for them to date. Stuff from, I did SL70, MR50s, we did a CB160, CR450R, ATC 250R, another ATC 90.
You are the man when it comes to the early ATVs, the
Yeah,
three-wheelers.
That's like my, I've kind of, through the years, I used to do a lot of street bikes, did a lot of dirt bike stuff, but, the old three-wheelers are really what kind of drives me.
I see that when you have reproduction fenders for a lot of the early ones there.
Well, the parts are getting so hard to find where it's, it's like the only other way to do it is to have them made. So I went out there and kind of through the last 23 years, slowly started making these parts. And I focused on the US 90. That's like the bike I've done the most of. And we have quite a bit. Pretty much less the tires. The balloon tires are gold on those.
Yeah, the rib front tire.
Yep. But like the rubber pieces, all like the controls, the wiring, pretty much everything I have covered. Fender, decks we have made, seats.
Your workmanship is spectacular. When I look at the finish on all this stuff, it is so correct, and it is so close to the way it was when it came from the factory.
That's kind of I might have a little OCD. So like everything has to be, I go through brochures, I make sure zinc color is the way it was from the factory. Bolt position. Did they come in this way? Did they go that,
Cable routing.
Yeah, it's super important.
Oh yeah, well, it's this Odyssey back here. I don't think there's another one of those that hasn't been rolled over many times, and that one is perfect.
That's 1977. That's the first year Odyssey. This one's going to Holland, so a pretty big collection.
Yeah, he's a pretty big collector, that guy.
He is.
The plastic here that has been redone.
Yep.
That there's Mike has a person in California that is very talented.
He's actually out in Pahrump, Nevada. His name's Phil Cox. These fenders were all gouged, faded. It's just amazing what he can do. And it's all hand sanding and polishing.
Yep. Beautiful.
Probably got 30 hours just into doing this, these here.
Yep. There's a featured article on one of the US 90s that Mike did. There's a gentleman from the Honda Collection Hall visiting with Mike, preparing for some more units, I would assume. This is a very rare piece, a Rupp motocrosser that they were going to make into a variable V-belt drive like a snowmobile. But this is one of one. Apologize for my poor editing and having the lanyard hooked to my phone, which kind of made a lot of noise. I want to thank Mike Palmgren for taking the time on a moment's notice to show us his place. And we've been there before, but it's always interesting to see what he's building there and making look like new. I got to be careful saying he's the best that there is, because I haven't met everybody who does what he does. But he's the best I've ever seen. And if he's good enough for the Honda Museum in Japan, then he's good enough for just about anybody. He has customers that are NASCAR people that they want a mini bike just like the neighbor had. And Mike's the guy that can do it. Small operation and just as clean and as organized as it could possibly be. I want to thank you for watching us, All Shops Great and Small, on YouTube. And like us and subscribe if you would. Thanks for being with us.